You probably think your Apple TV is completely fine the way it is, and that you don't need to change a single thing. Well, you're wrong. The brand new tvOS 26.4 update just officially dropped, and it does the exact opposite of what you might expect. It doesn't just add a few minor tweaks, it fundamentally alters how your entire living room entertainment system operates, removing legacy features you have known for years while adding some seriously powerful new tools. But there's one specific, hidden change buried deep in the code of this update that completely rewrites the future of Apple's entertainment strategy. And it actually involves your car. We are going to dig into exactly what that is, and why it matters, in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the immediate changes to tvOS 26.4 that you need to be aware of right now, because some of them are going to force you to change your daily habits. I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, it's just a software update, how much could really change? Honestly, this changes everything. Let's start with your home screen. If you go looking for your old, familiar iTunes Movies and iTunes TV Shows apps, you are going to be staring at a blank space. Apple has officially nuked them from orbit. They are gone for good. This is essentially the first iPhone moment all over again for the Apple TV interface. Apple is forcing everyone into the unified Apple TV app. Now, they have been warning us about this since tvOS 17.2, so it shouldn't be a total shock, but the old iTunes wishlist feature is completely dead. You now have to rely entirely on the watch list inside the Apple TV app. If you have years of curated movies saved in those old apps, you need to migrate them immediately before the system wipes your access. It is a harsh transition, but it cleans up the clutter. But taking things away is only half the story. Wait until you see how they have completely overhauled how you actually watch and listen to your movies. Let's talk about the audio, because this is where tvOS 26.4 really flexes its technical muscles. For anyone running a high-end home theater setup, you know the frustration of audio dropouts. Apple has finally introduced a new, continuous audio connection feature hidden under the Video and Audio Settings menu. This is specifically designed for the HDMI output and uses a Dolby MAT connection. What this means in plain English is that you get glitch-free, seamless transitions between different audio formats. So, if you are running a Sonos system or an older receiver that always indicates Atmos, the original audio mix will now play exactly as the director intended without the Apple TV artificially modifying it or causing those annoying split-second dropouts. If you have been dealing with out-of-sync audio or random black screens on apps like Prime Video or Disney+, this update explicitly patches those beta glitches. The stability is back. Fixing the audio is a massive relief, but Apple also threw in a massive quality-of-life update for how you read your content. If you are someone who always leaves the subtitles on, this update is going to be your best friend. Apple has completely revamped the subtitle customization tools directly inside the system-wide video player. You no longer have to dig through layers of accessibility settings. Now, when you pull up the subtitle menu, you have immediate access to new visual styles like classic, large text, and outline text. But the real game changer is the transparent background option. It gives you crystal clear text without throwing a giant, distracting black box over the movie you are trying to watch. It's a small detail, but it makes an enormous difference for your viewing experience. And speaking of viewing experiences, sports fans in the US are getting a massive upgrade as well. Apple has directly integrated live and on-demand Formula One coverage right into the Apple TV app. Everything lives in one place now, so you aren't constantly hopping between different apps to see when the next session starts. But what good are great sports and perfect sound if you can't find anything else to watch? And that is exactly where Apple is deploying their next big weapon. This brings us to one of the smartest additions to the Apple TV interface in years. It is called Genius Browse. Located right in the Home tab of the TV app, this is a highly intelligent new recommendation engine. Instead of just throwing random POS at you, it uses specific, mood-based categories. You will see rails for things like upbeat workplace comedies or tense psychological thrillers. It pulls these recommendations from across your linked services, like Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, serving it all up on a silver platter. However, there is one massive, glaring omission: Netflix. Because of the ongoing, petty war between Apple and Netflix, Genius Browse is completely blind to anything inside the Netflix app. It is the classic Apple versus the world conflict narrative, and unfortunately, you are caught in the middle. Now, all of these intelligent, cross-platform algorithms require serious processing power, which leads to a very suspicious situation happening right now at your local Apple store. If you try to buy an Apple TV 4K or a HomePod right now, you might be out of luck. Inventory is running incredibly low across the board. And in the tech world, when Apple lets supply chain stock run dry for a device that is nearly 4 years old, it means only one thing: new hardware is imminent. According to reliable supply chain reports and sources like Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, Apple is gearing up to launch a significantly more powerful Apple TV box. We are talking about a processor capable of handling advanced, on-device AI for a lightning-fast Siri experience. It makes perfect sense, especially with the 20th anniversary of the Apple TV coming up. We are likely going to see this new hardware teased or announced at the WWDC Developers Conference on June 8th, alongside our first look at tvOS 27. But a new box for your living room isn't the only place Apple wants to put a screen. And this brings us back to that massive secret I mentioned at the very beginning. Let's finally close that loop. Developers digging deep into the tvOS 26.4 code found something that no one saw coming. Explicit lines of code that mention video support for CarPlay through the Apple TV app. That's right. Apple is laying the software foundation to let you watch your favorite movies and shows directly on your car's dashboard screen when you are parked. Tesla has been doing this for a while, and apparently, NASA called, they want their engineering back. This is a huge indicator of Apple's long-term strategy. They don't just want to own your living room, they want to own your driveway, your commute, and your road trips. It will take time for car manufacturers to catch up and push their own firmware updates to allow this. But the fact that the code is natively built into tvOS 26.4 right now proves that the wheels are already in motion. Before we wrap this up, there is one critical step you absolutely must take today. Even if you don't care about the new subtitle customization tools that let you create transparent backgrounds for easier reading, or the live Formula One sports integration, you still need to install tvOS 26.4. Why? Because of the security patches. Apple has packed this update with multiple CVE entries. These are critical patches that fix vulnerabilities hackers could use to bridge into your home network through your Apple TV. So go to your settings, check your build number, and get it installed. Do not wait on this. You rely on this little black box for your daily entertainment, and your security depends on keeping it updated. So, here is the real question for you. Are you going to upgrade to the rumored new AI-powered Apple TV when it drops? Or is your current 4K model still getting the job done? Let me know your exact upgrade plans down in the comments.